Welcome back to Flashback Review. I'm J77 and I'm going to be talking about Pokemon, the movie, or Pokemon Mewtwo, the movie. I've actually forgotten what they called this movie. I'm pretty sure I got it right. Pokemon, the movie Mewtwo. Um, this is a movie that came at the peak of Pokemon popularity. Probably people was talking about Pokemon, promotion about Pokemon, getting their Pokeballs, getting toys from Pokemon, the Pokemon cards, which I still don't get. I don't get that trading card game. Anybody who's seen this review, who have played the game, please tell me how that works. I'm still don't understand it. But Pokemon was everywhere. The game was popular. The TV show was popular. The trading card, anything that was Pokemon was popular. The movie finally was released in theaters. I took my friends' children to see this film, and it was crowded. It was a big phenomenon. People even had the Pokemon, the Ash hat, which I didn't even know existed until I saw it. And of course, they had the promotion. You go in there and you buy your tickets, you get the cards for Pokemon, you get a Pikachu card, and all that stuff. So it was very much good. They was pushing this movie hard. And I'm gonna say this right at the back. Out of all the movies that I have covered here so far, this was the most successful franchise films that actually was successful. This had Pokemon 2, 3, 4. I believe they had 5 movies. Not to mention the special 1 hour series that follow up each of the films. This was a very, very risky move, and it worked. To the producers' advantages, to those in Nintendo advantages, and it really was a success in many many ways. Yet, was the success worth it? Not really. Let's be realistic. I was not a big fan of this movie. There was some good moments in this movie. It had some shiny moments, but I felt the film was either A, over preachy, B, inconsistent, and C, at least for the beginning part of the movie, just boring. I found that little Pikachu short to be more exciting than this movie itself. It was a lot of boring themes. There's just a lot of inconsistency with the morals it was trying to preach, and this leads to my problem with the Pokemon series in general. Um, I'm gonna just throw the controversy out the way because there is a controversy behind Pokemon that still stems to this day. Um, and that's just the idea of pocket monsters. And look, it's kind of hard for me. I'll put the theme here. The whole entire movie is about morals and why fighting is wrong and why this kind of behavior is absolutely wrong. And if you go to that very last theme of them, you hear them talk about it constantly, from Meow to Team Rocket to all the people involved in this stupid tournament that Mewtwo have done. They just talk about the moral grounds of why fighting was wrong, but yet here you have a world who is capturing Pokemon, put them in prison inside a ball to fight a battle. That's not a precept for dog fights or cockfights. I don't know what is. And I know that maybe you're over exaggerating, you're looking for it, but I gotta keep it real. You're forcing these animals to fight, even though you keep saying that they're not really fighters. Then why are you doing this? It makes no sense. But I said, okay, let me just throw it out the way. Let me just put my own feelings about this show to the back burner and just watch it for what it was. And the beginning film, you see Ash being challenged by some guy. The music came in, which is a redone of the original theme, which I will tell you, I actually like the theme music. I want to be the very best ever was. And here's a little bit different, but it was more of a bit of an upgrade. And you see Ash winning and stuff, and then you turn on to Mew, and you find out that Mew, and I believe Mew, which in the beginning was a pretty much a hybrid. He is pretty much was a genetically created Pokemon with the intelligence of humans and has very strong power kinesis. Mewtwo, that is. And he's big and giant. And you see a scene where he basically, I'm sorry to say, he killed everybody in the factory. He blew the whole thing up. Nobody survived that. And he's being trained by Team Rocket, of course, and Team Rocket wants it back, and he escapes Team Rocket's fortress because he's being used as a weapon. And for some reason, he got this big idea to teach the world a lesson by recruiting all these Pokemons and basically I don't know, setting him free. I don't know. The plot line didn't make any sense, and it's not even memorable. That's how much repetitive this movie was. And I remember sitting in this theater. I kid you not, I fell asleep during the first quarter of this movie. I fell asleep. It was boring. I woke up after they got on this raft trying to reach some island, um, which Mewtwo has somehow kinetically have manipulated the weather. I mean, this is a dangerous Pokemon. I'm not even in lie. I mean, this Pokemon just, if anybody manipulates the weather, I'm leaving you alone. That's as simple as that. But they're facing a near situation where they're facing possibly drowning. Wouldn't be the first time they have faced that situation. But there's a whole lot of stuff going on. It's like, wow, for something that should be exciting, should be jarring, should be intense. I'm not excited at all. And it wasn't until that last act where Mew is challenging basically had made clones of every Pokemon that was involved in this situation, including Meow, and he basically then stripped the clones of their special abilities so they could fight evenly. And you're watching them fighting each other, basically killing each other. It's like that's when the preaching came into play, and I'm like, you're preaching something that really, in terms of what your show is based around, makes no sense. And I will admit the one thing that actually caught my attention and actually shocked me was when Ash got turned to stone. I said, "Oh, okay, I didn't see this coming," and it was kind of a weird way. It was like, "Wow, one's actions have actually killed this kid, or made it impossible for him to come back." And you see all these, Pokemon have these tears, and the tears of remorse and regret and guilt really forming together and really restored Ash Ketchum, which my friend always made fun of because he hated that name. He came back, and that's when he realized all this stuff was pointless. But then he did something that I didn't like. They wiped out their memory so they won't remember the event that happened. Are you kidding me? Are you seriously? We went for all that, and you're basically saying, well, that doesn't count. Goodbye. Really? That's how we're gonna end this movie now. All right, again. All right, fine. All right, we're gonna end this film, and that's how they did it. I mean, Mew took his clones, and along Mewtwo. Let me fix this. Mewtwo, not Mew. Mew is a smaller version. He is a clone of Mew, which doesn't really speak English like he does. They basically did a Star Wars where the person either growls or says something, and the other person who understands him actually translate what he was saying. That kind of stuff. And it ended with them. You can see these Pokemon going somewhere. Mewtwo, he's taking these clones somewhere to be at peace. And the film pretty much ends like that. Oh my god, this film is forgettable. It's forgettable for a lot of reasons. Is that because, number one, again, this was not an interesting film. This film was very lucky that it came on the right time where Pokemon was on the rise. Where Pokemon was just being spiked. This was the most hyped film of all the movies, and my goodness, it was hyped to death. But you notice after this film, they made other movies, and it wasn't as hype as this one. Nobody was not that pumped up to see it. Even though the other ones made money, it wasn't as if people were talking about it. People was actually thrilled to see it. People said, "Oh, another Pokemon movie come out. That's it. That's it. That's all they did." I mean, we knew it was coming out, but we didn't, rush into theaters. And not many people made a big stink out of it. There was no prize to be won. There was no nothing here. This one, they made it be the extravaganza. The biggest cream cheese you can probably ever put on your bread. And yet, when you see it, it was just a mediocre film that really, in all intents and purposes, just was just boring and average. I will say this, though. Unlike some of the films that I've talked about doing the cartoon shows made into movies, this one actually did feel like it belonged in theaters. I will give it that. I will say that with a positive. It did feel like it made in the theaters. I'm not going to sit there and say they half-assed anything. It definitely felt that it should have been in theaters. It definitely felt there was some effort put in the theaters. And you definitely felt that they were trying to lead it to something more, which they did. They actually had follow-ups and other movies that to boot. Unfortunately, and I'll say this, unfortunately, this was not a very good feature. It just wasn't. It wasn't because it reminded me of the TV show. It just wasn't a good feature. It had a lot of problems. First of all, not keeping my attention span for one reason, at least for the beginning of the film, where I'm falling asleep holding my soda. Thank God I didn't drop it. And number two, the ending was just a cop out, in my opinion. The ending was just a cop out. There was some good moments in this film. I really felt there were some good scenes that actually interest me. Meow, seeing him in his clone counterpart, which was very very interesting to see. Ash, his feelings of caring for his Pokemon, as well as him actually sacrificing himself to stop what was considered to be a pointless battle. That was something that really spoke about his character and how he evolved as a character. I really felt there was some effort put into that situation. However, the storyline just didn't make any sense. News actions didn't make any sense. And in the end, when all is said and done, where you could actually find a lesson of why this is pointless to be fighting each other, including in the terms of, Pokemon battles, it did the cop out pull where erasing people's memories, pretending none of this happened, just was a stupid move. Now I know they tried to fix it in Mewtwo's Return, a 1 hour special that actually continued the story from the original movie, but to me, it really was one special too late. I just felt they didn't do a very good job of really getting that priority straight. To me, it's a 2-star film. That's all it is to it. I don't see it as a terrible film. It's just I kind of wish they would have got their priority straight. But then again, you are dealing with a universe where there are people catching creatures so they can fight in a tournament or fight each other in some dojo. Similar as Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes you gotta go with it. You may disagree. You may think this was a great movie. You may have different opinions than I do. I'd like to hear your opinions on it. Let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, this is J77 saying take care, be safe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.